Let's make sure the sound's off. Alrighty guys, how's it going? This is Angus from Makers Muse, and hopefully we're live. Hopefully you can hear me as well. I'm using a new microphone, and you'll be able to see why very shortly. So, to get started, I asked last night what you guys wanted to see on Twitter on today's live stream, and it was a pretty resounding result for testing and unboxing the Buccaneer, and I didn't expect that. So here we are. Yes, this is a Buccaneer, and I'm gonna go through the history of what this printer is and what it means to so many people, and why it's so significant that I have one of these things, right? So, yeah, let's get into it. I'm peeking on the thing. I can maybe, yeah.
Can you speak a little louder? They're having trouble hearing you.
It says the microphone's pretty much peaking on my end. I can make it louder, like that. That might be too loud. How's that? It is a new microphone. I don't want to go too loud or it'll start peaking. Yes, maybe. Hopefully. Alright, you let me know if they can't hear me. Okay, so what we have here is the Buccaneer, and several years ago, this was the darling of Kickstarter 3D printers. This was, the cheapest 3D printer you could get, possibly, was the Buccaneer on Kickstarter. Yeah, I can't go, if I go too loud it peaks. Yeah, so, sorry guys, I can't go much louder than that. So, essentially the Buccaneer was a very low cost printer. If we go through here, you can see it was like $300 for a 3D printer, which was nuts back then. So this project, where was it? I think it was 2012. I think it came out in 2012 or around that time. Oh, here you go. So they estimated delivery of August 2013 for the Buccaneer 3D printer. And they raised $1,438,000. That's absolutely insane, right? All well and good. The campaign went on, and then things got delayed, and yeah, it went belly up. Basically, the Buccaneer team ran out of money. They did not deliver. More than half the printers were undelivered, and they just blanked all of their backers, essentially. So just a few things from here. People are just furious. Absolutely furious. They're considering going to them in Singapore. And what is even weirder is this. Pirate3D. You as an individual right now can go to Pirate3D's website and order a Buccaneer. What? That's completely messed up. And the reason they've done that, their reasoning behind it, is that they want to sell commercial printers to then start paying off their backers, right? And that is just the most reverse logic. So people who pledged their own money years ago are going to get their printers later than people who could just buy one now from this company. Just talk about it's complete mismanagement. I have zero respect for what they've done. And basically, the reason I have this unit is thanks to Dion at the 3D printer here in Australia. And the reason he has this printer is they approached him to like resell them. And he had no idea about what happened here on Kickstarter. So this is a demo unit. So this is the unit that was meant to impress a reseller to then start reselling them around Australia. And he said, well, I don't want it. Here, Angus, you take it and see what you can do with it. So yeah, let's have a look at unboxing this printer, the Buccaneer from Pirate3D. Possibly one of the most hated 3D printer campaigns of all time. Yeah, should be fun. So I have Lady Muse over in the corner. She has the sniffles. She is sick. So questions are going to be possibly glossed over unless she can get them to me. This is mostly about unboxing this and just checking out this printer, which some of you may have backed and you may have never gotten, and I am terribly sorry. So I do, yeah, no respect for Buccaneer. Let's crack into it. And I'm going to switch over to my main camera. There we go. And the reason for this microphone is hopefully, I don't have any wires, so I can wander around with the wireless lav. And hopefully that works for you. Now I can see myself. Excellent. Cool. Yep. Go back. All right.
The ink droid says, open the box and the souls of dead backers will escape in groans and cries.
It's like Pandora's box. It's like Pandora's 3D printer. If I open this, then the world will turn to darkness. All right. So, if you've just come in, this is the Buccaneer 3D printer. It is widely recognized as one of the most hated 3D printer campaigns of all time. Over $1 million raised and only half, if that, ever delivered. Just disgusting, basically. Completely mismanaged, and this is a classic thing with Kickstarter projects. If someone doesn't know how business works, how much tooling costs, how much distribution costs, things can go south very, very quickly. So if I can get it open, I'll show you. And we'll see if we can get it working, but I don't promise anything. Again, this is not, for those who did get this printer, it's pretty rubbish from what I understand. Oh yeah, there you go. Prototype sample not for sale. So this is meant to be like a good sample to impress a reseller. How does it open? This way. On its side. Also, it's worth noting, I just had a lovely private stream with some of the high-end Patreon backers, and the internet dropped out like repeatedly. So I don't know if that's going to happen during the stream. Hopefully not. But Australian internet is notoriously rubbish. So if it does drop out, I do apologize. I'm doing the best I can. All right, what we got? Here we go. So we have some polystyrene packaging, a box of some kind. Okay, so that would be the print beds. So it's not a big printer. It's about the same size as, what do I say, like an Up Mini or something. 150 or so millimeters. Not too big. Or 140, something like that. Power supply. Pirate3D. Right. That would be eSun. I am almost certain that would be eSun brand. So that looks very much like their labels. I could be wrong, but that looks very much like an eSun label. So that is white PLA. And it is a tiny roll. It is 0.4 kilos, not even 0.5. Right. So let's pull it out. that is. There we go. Freedom. And nothing else in the box. Off it goes. Right, so the thing that drove most people to back this printer was the low cost, but also it's one of the more aesthetically pleasing 3D printers that was around at the time. A lot of people said it's like, if Apple was to make a 3D printer, this is what it would be. So, yeah. It is a pretty looking machine. It definitely is quite nice to look at. But in terms of practicality and use, we'll find out. Right. It's well packed. You've got some desiccant. Oh, I've got their address on here. Does anyone not know their address? So they're in Singapore. So yeah, if you happen to be in Singapore and you did back the Pirate3D Buccaneer, then you might want to say hi. And if you haven't gotten your printer, ask where it is. Alright, if you're wondering why we're unboxing the Pirate3D Buccaneer, it's because I put a Twitter poll out last night. So if you're not following me on Twitter, then you can definitely check out Makers Muse, or at Makers Muse. I did ask what people wanted to see, and this was what won. So that's why we're checking it out. Right. So it's not a huge machine, but it's not that small. For the print size, I mean, it's pretty large. But it's a very weird layout. It's very unusual. Let's get it out of the box. There we go. There we go. Right, let's scooch this a little bit closer. There you go. So this is the Buccaneer. It's the thing that caught my attention when this first came out on Kickstarter was the fact that the platform starts up at the top here and it lowers down. So the part sort of becomes presented to you and then you can take the part off. That's what looked quite good in the Kickstarter videos. Bag of desiccant, get rid of that. But I've never seen inside one, so let's definitely check it out. Let's get this tape off. Oh, there's wires attached to this, apparently. Oh, and the feed tube. Alright, so this is not meant to be removed. Why is it loose? Well, this has got wires and like a feed tube attached to it. So I'm not sure why that can just come off. That's a great start. Okay, well that can just... They've taped it on. Yes.
Is it all possible to include the box and the title in it? Because a lot of people keep asking what printer you're unboxing. So.
Oh, okay. Yep. Let's do that. Alright, I'll include it. Let's go there. There you go. That printer, the Buccaneer from Pirate3D. And I'm not going to go through the spiel about why I'm unboxing this again, but essentially you can't, or you can buy this, but don't buy it, please. And they are a failed Kickstarter that ripped off $500,000 worth of backers' money. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got some plastic cover stuff and some cardboard. Oh, it's clearly, oh no. There's a bit of damage to the corner. I don't know if it's been dropped or it's just like that. bit hard to see. Maybe been dropped, or just it's spray painted silver on plastic. That's possibly why. Oh no, it's done it in a few places. Yep, just poor quality anodizing, I think. So it's sort of crazed. That's a sign of some bad quality metal coating. Right. So read this first before you power up your printer. Dear customer, please take note of below before you turn on your Buccaneer 3D printer. Cut off 3 cable ties securing the print head. Okay, where is that? Okay, so if I flip him on his side, that should give you a bit of view of what's inside. Let's get this cardboard out. No, we lost our box. There we go. So let's have a closer look there. Excellent. That'll do it. And put the Buccaneer on the table. Chat. just making it up as I go along. There you go. So it's that printer here. Right, so I just need some side cutters. And it wants me to cut some things loose. So it looks like it has linear rails, which is actually unexpected, to be honest. That's actually not bad. And NEMA 17 stepper motors. So that would be those there, and those ones. So they're NEMA 17s, which is quite nice. I expected it to have something worse. Yes.
CJ asks if you think that Tico is going to be just another Buccaneer. What do you think?
Okay, so the question is about Tico. For those who don't know, Tico is the latest Kickstarter 3D printer darling. Low-cost 3D printer. It's a Delta design, unibody design, quite a lot of nice features. It's cheap, basically. And they've already started shipping, so that's already a step up above what Pirate3D ever managed. But they did raise a lot more money. So whether they will ship everything, I'm not too sure. I'm hoping not. But it sounds like they're doing better already than Pirate3D ever did. So that's a good thing. I think people learnt their lesson with Pirate3D. People learnt that you can't really trust a Kickstarter. And I think that's why Tico had to be a bit more serious about what they were doing. Right, so that's free. Yes. All right, it's the print head. Interesting looking print head, actually. It's got quite a nice heat shield. Few printed parts, nothing, not too many. But there is linear slides, unexpected. Okay, so flip it back upwards, like that. Right, and we'll plug it in and see what happens.
Sword asks, is it an expensive kind of cheap or poor quality kind of cheap?
What?
For the printer.
For this one?
Yeah.
I don't know. So in terms of this machine being cheap, I think what happened is it actually ended up not being cheap to manufacture. So if you look at it, I mean, to make that for $300 or $400 or $500 for a startup company is just kind of impossible. So I think they've used decent components, but they've also cheaped out on various parts of it. Right, let's try and find some power and we can plug it in and see what happens. Overall, the unboxing experience was actually quite good, to be honest, apart from this top bit being fairly flimsy. I can't really hate on them too much for that unboxing experience. Alright, just found some power. If you just come in, this is the Buccaneer 3D printer from Pirate3D, which I am unboxing because I got sent it by the 3D printer, which is an Australian reseller of various 3D printers. This is his production sample, which he got sent from Pirate3D. But it's a bit of a notorious printer because it ripped off many people on Kickstarter. Okay. Right. It's making noise. That's very flimsy as well. That's like super flimsy. Okay, so it's making a buzzing noise. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm not sure what the buzzing noise is coming from. It doesn't seem to be... Oh. Okay, well it homed itself. It's alive. Now how to interface with it. Let's have a look again.
Yeah, some people are a bit brain blank. Concerned if that's stable enough with the 3D printer. They're worried it might fall over.
It's okay. It's pretty stable. Unfortunately, it's the best I've got. If it does fall over, it would be actually quite funny. I'm not too concerned about that. In terms of stuff in this area, I've just run out of room completely. I don't really have any places to put stuff anymore.
That 3D printer I asked, 2 years ago you made a video on safety, and now you have a space for other printers and fumes. What is your current thoughts on safety?
That's actually a good question. So, put this aside for now. So in terms of safety and 3D printing fumes, even though I have loads of printers now, I try to not print in the same room I'm working in. So if I'm printing on the unbox, I usually print overnight when I'm not here, or I try to print PLA only. If I'm printing on the other printers, they're in another workshop where I'm not working in. I do not recommend printing in a room where you work in at all, unless it's maybe small amounts of PLA, or maybe actually like a filter. Like the HEPA filter in the unbox does filter a lot of fumes out, but it doesn't filter everything out. But yeah, my advice is still print in a different room. And if you're printing something experimental like polycarbonate, POM, like, was it polyformaldehyde? Any of these more experimental, high temperature, dangerous filaments, absolutely don't print them near you. Print them in a room which is separated, or like a chamber that's separated. By all means, don't do it right next to your desk while you're playing computer games, because that's not going to be good. So yeah, even though I've got heaps of machines now, I do try to keep it separate from where I'm working. Absolutely. Plus they're noisy, they're kind of intrusive. You know, something going for hours and then going weep, 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 weep. It's just really, it drives me crazy. Absolutely nuts. Right. So we have a little instruction thing. There we go. And it's saying plug it in, wait for the print bed to lower. The print bed didn't lower. Oh. Power on the Buccaneer? What? How do you turn it on? There's no button. Well, the print bed didn't lower itself, which is a great start. Hold on. When in doubt, restart the system. We're already at a loss because it's saying the print bed should lower itself and it didn't. Right. Yep, hot surface, blah blah blah. It's actually quite a decent manual, which is a bit sad considering that they went so off the rails in terms of delivery to their backers. Wondering if that noise is actually the bed that's meant to be lowering. Yeah, I think the Z-axis is seized. I think the Z-axis is seized. Oh my god, you can barely turn it. Well, that's going to kill this very quickly. Alright, let's see if that works. Off to a flying start.
Suggestion, slam it with your fist.
No, there's no loose tie. I've got all the ties. I just tried turning the lead screw by hand, and it was extremely difficult to turn.
James says, congratulations on your Kickstarter, freak. Bucker failed.
Oh my god, it really has failed already.
The ink joint. Scrap it and use its parts to make your own 3D printer.
That's a pretty good idea, yeah. Okay. Right. The Z-axis motor is making noise, but nothing's happening. I think one of the coils is broken. Almost dropped the F-bomb there. This is disastrous. I expected it to be fully though. From what I've heard, this is just rubbish. Right, so let's remove that plug it back in.
So just a quickie. Photoshop Joker asks, what do you think of the XYZ printers?
Okay, so XYZ printers, DaVincis, I don't really have a comment on them because I never use them, but they are a lockdown system unless you flash them, which does work, but it does mean you void the warranty, etc., etc. I don't know. They do the Junior, the DaVinci Junior, whatever it's called, is a pretty good deal. But yeah, they're just cheap. They're cheap, and the quality will reflect that. I'm gonna see if I can get to the control board. Let's see what happens. So that's. Oh god.
Do you need help?
No, it's all right. Okay. Where is the control board? Oh, there it is at the top. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. So, if this can't home its own Z-axis, then we might just be up a creek in terms of this ever working. Imagine if you got this. Imagine if you were a backer and you backed for this, and this is what you received, and it didn't work from the box.
Angus?
Yeah.
CJ asks, what's your highest CP Pokemon in Pokemon Go?
I'll answer that in a minute. Yeah, that is not working. My highest CP Pokemon, I don't know, what was it? The Pidgeot, maybe? We found a Pidgeot that was pretty good. It was like $5.80. I've got a Beedrill now. That's pretty good. I like Beedrills. Yeah, so this is busted. No two ways about it. The Z-axis is not working. I can maybe get at the control board somehow, but I don't know how I can get at it easily. Is absolutely seized. So yeah. I seem to be ripping open printers every single stream. Every time I unbox something, something's broken. And it's not my fault. Everything arrives dud. Right.
I'm going to ask you this one.
Go.
Okay, serious question. When you lived in Perth, you were all about My Little Pony. What happened to the ponies in the videos?
The ponies in the videos?
Yeah. All your pony-related videos and ponies everywhere.
Yeah, My Little Pony's still alright. I ended up leaving a lot of them with Tim at Frontier 3D. So if you go to Frontier 3D, I think he still has them in his studio, like, display. I don't know. I could print more. It's just I've been printing other things. I need a screwdriver.
Yeah. Someone suggested you should take it apart first.
Yeah. This is a nightmare. I don't even know how it goes together. It's just the worst thing ever. Alright, well you can ask me questions and I'll answer questions while I'm undoing this top part.
Okay,
How's that?
Steve Kingsley asks, when you mentioned your ultimate printer design one time, you said it would have to be ball screws. Do you know of any good designs using them?
Yes. So the question's about ball screws and why I said that they're good. Very low backlash, very low friction, and very high reliability point to point. Very expensive as well. So therefore, not many printers use them on the lower end. If you go up to something like a Stratasys machine, if you look inside a Stratasys Uprint or a Stratasys Fortis, they all use ball screws. And any sort of high-end CNC machine will use like Highwind ball screws and linear rails, that kind of thing. The reason is just simply because it's better. It's so much more reliable, so much higher load capabilities. And yeah, but you won't see it on a low-end machine, except maybe sometimes at a Z-axis. Like I think the Raise 3D might use a ball screw. I'm just guessing there, just because of the price point. The early Mancati used a ball screw before they cheaped out and became crap. There goes my screwdriver. But generally speaking, they're just way too expensive for consumer machines. So that's why you don't see them very often. Right. So what I'm trying to do is remove this Teflon tube. Right, that'll do. Also, Dion, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm just ripping apart the machine you sent me instantly. But I don't know what else to do. It's busted. It's absolutely busted. Okay, here we go. So we got the Z-axis. I can't really show you, unfortunately. It's just too awkward. Z-axis flows through these 4 points. Some of the plugs are slightly loose. That could be why.
Technology Note asks if you can talk about the Cube 3. I have one and it's amazing.
I did see that video, dude. Yeah, the Cube 3s are very pretty. They do work okay. They're completely discontinued, which is why you got it cheap. So, because they are cartridge based, you've bought into a system that's already discontinued, which means I would buy up on cartridges because they will run out because the machine's no longer produced. But they do look good and they do seem to print okay, which is a compliment to 3D systems. But yeah, they're no longer made. The entire 3D Systems Cubify website, their entire ecosystem for low-cost printers got shut down earlier this year, around January or so. All right, I'm going to try plugging it in again and see what happens. See what happens.
Okay, Angus?
Yes.
3 questions, you have time?
Yes.
Okay, first off, Randall Lazzini asks, did you try the Trinus VR with the headset?
No, so Trinus VR sounds really cool. I looked it up. I have not tried it with the headset yet, but thank you for suggesting it. It looks really quite cool. Come on. Actually, I have a solution for this. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to get some WD-40 to try to free up this linear axis. Yes. Okay, one moment. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Lady Muse. Actually, you might still be able to hear me. I'm not sure what the range of this microphone is. Da, 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 da. Okay, back. Did I miss anything? Okay. Strictly speaking, WD-40 is not a lubricant, but I think it will free up this axis. Because what's happening is that I think it's been in storage for so long, I think that's why it's kind of died. Okay, that's good for that one. And flip it over and get the other side.
Next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Juicy News Productions asks, how far you have gotten into the TiVo Tarantula?
The TiVo is pretty much assembled. So, how far have I gone into the TiVo? It's just the wiring needs to be cleaned up. I did have to reflash new firmware to it. The firmware it came with, I don't know, wasn't very good. I'm not sure if it was Repetier based. I tried to get official firmware from the websites and it was Repetier based, and it was trying to home 2 axes at once and weird stuff like that. So I went onto the official, official Facebook group for the TiVo, and I downloaded one of the community firmwares for Marlin, and that works great. So it's running Marlin firmware at the moment from the community, and yeah, I just need to tidy up the wiring and then do a proper test. So it's going to be the review is going to be more about the construction process of a kit rather than the actual printing of it, because I mean that's the main thing. If you're buying a kit, you need to know what you're in for in terms of assembling it. Right, this should work now. Let's see how we go.
Question?
Yeah, while we're waiting for this thing to do something.
Okay, so Jane Cab asks, if you have any opinion yet on the Ultimaker Original Plus. So have you had a chance to poke around that yet?
No. Why is it? Come on. No, I haven't really looked into too much of the Ultimakers, to be honest. This is so jammed up. Completely bone dry rails. Yeah, the Ultimakers are great, just they're too expensive in Australia, so I don't really see them very often.
NTW asks you if is worth it.
Does this printer look like it's worth it at the moment? No. No. I'm so glad I never bloody pledged for it. I remember when this came out. So I was working at 3D printing studios in the Rocks in Sydney, and people were coming in to buy printers, and they were like, "Oh, why is this printer so expensive? We can get the Pirate3D Buccaneer off Kickstarter for like half the price." To which we answered, "Well, go on then." and yeah, such is life. So yeah, I would never touch this with a barge pole at this point. Haven't even got it working. It can't even home itself. Yeah. Yeah, WD-40 is not really, it's not a lubricant. I'm just trying to free it up to home itself. Then I'll put some proper oil and grease on it.
Design to Heart says, maybe if you can show us how it looks like inside, we could see what's jammed.
Okay, yeah, I can. Right. So let's try that. Okay, have a look. So what we've got here is a linear screw, so a trapezoidal screw with two smooth rods, and they go through brass bushings. So the brass bushings are there, and the stepper motor's underneath. So, sorry, lost it. So these were completely dry. This was completely dry. No grease, anything on it. These have seized. These have 100% seized. So I'm just trying to free them up with WD-40 to see if it works. Yeah. But also, yes, you might be right. They might have the stepper drivers dialed too low. But I can't see any current adjusters. Oh wait, maybe. Oh my god. It is starting to free up though, I will say that. It is starting to get easier. Yeah.
CJ Printing asks if you could send this to Cat.org, because apparently Cat.org backed one and he never got one, he or she.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. It's just, if I have to send it internationally, it might be really expensive. That's the only problem. It's almost getting there. Yeah, well, when I'm done with this and my review, then yeah, I'm happy to send it elsewhere. So it homed itself. You can see by the rails that it's just completely seized. Yeah, I do drink a bit of WD-40 in the morning. Right. Well, that was terrible. What's the next step? Plug it in, place and fix the printing platform. Okay, let's see what that is. Sorry for the noise. All right, we have that, which has double-sided tape on the back of it. And we have that, which has magnets on it. So I assume that's designed to snap into place. I don't know what that coating is. It's sort of a, there you go. It's kind of like double-sided tape or something. I don't know if that's a good thing. Whatever. I'm not going to get that far. Let's put it in. All right. Oh, look at that quality. Okay. Look at... God. See if I can show you that. Look at this play. Linear rails and rods and it... That's shocking. That is shocking. Alright. Remove the filament from its packaging. Push it into the feeder till you feel strong resistance. Let's try that. There's my knife. Yeah, I do agree. I think this printer is way overcomplicated. So I think the reason they went so far south in their Kickstarter campaign is because it was just way more expensive to manufacture than they possibly imagined. And they did not have nearly enough funding. So you need to keep in mind with Kickstarter projects, you're pledging money to the creator, yes. But you also have to consider that the creator has to pay Kickstarter 10%, or is it 5%? I think it's 5 to 10, I think it might be 10. But you also have the Amazon payments, which takes another cut. So it might be 10 overall. And then you have credit card fees, which take a huge amount overall, like a few percent per pledge, but it does add up. Then you have international shipping costs. Geez, like the cost to send that box from here to the States would be like $200. More, yes. What?
Casey Wagner said, that's a lot of wobble for abstract printing. They send you the Andy Warhol edition.
The Andy Warhol edition printer. That's it. It's a printer that can't print things at all decent. It's just like printer that prints abstract art. So that's the filament. Again, if you missed that, it looks like eSun. No, it looks like an eSun roll. There, for 0.4 kilos, so 400 grams. It's tiny. Right, so we'll put this back into place. Yep.
Okay, so Roll Richmonds asks, printing mostly PLA, for bed edition, is printing Z or some sort of flex plate worth it, or shall we stick with the build tack on glass plate?
Okay, so the question is about bed adhesion and various print surfaces. If you're using build tack on glass, then yeah, that's actually a great solution, and I can't really say anything else that might be better than that. The Print and Z plates are nice because you can flex them, so you can flex the plates to get the prints off. But if you're already printing on glass with a build tack and you're having good results, then I don't see any reason to change, because I don't see any reason to change something that already works. If you're having bad adhesion issues, then yeah, you might want to change. But if you go to another system, you're just introducing more variables, which might lead to more problems, in my experience anyway. Right, this is crap. Just like floats on top. Okay, there we go. Right, so let's go back down. Right, what's next?
Okay, next question is from 8BitJ.
Mm-hmm.
So he asks, what would be a good printer to get after Fabricator Mini? I want something a bit bigger now.
Okay, so if you've got a Fabricator Mini and you want something bigger, I would recommend one of the Wanhaus. So one of the Wanhao i3s, or the Monoprice Maker Select, maybe even the Monoprice Maker Select Mini, or maybe the M150 as well. All of these printers need a bit of tweaking to work properly, but they're cheap for what you get. You get a lot of print volume for the price, and yeah, I would absolutely go for an i3. So if you have the money, I would go for a genuine Prusa i3, the latest one. Really, really high quality. You get mesh bed leveling where it picks points and adjusts to suit. But apart from that, yeah, any of the i3 designs will give you a lot more space. And if you've got experience with the Fabricator Mini, you'll have no issues getting an i3 design up and running, in my experience. So yeah, if you've just joined me, this is the Pirate3D Buccaneer 3D printer, which was a Kickstarter disaster. $500,000 worth of backers didn't get this printer, and I'm currently trying to make it work. And at the moment, it's been a disaster, just horribly disaster. So I'm looking at the apps, and looks like I have to go to their website to download their software apparently. So let's have a look.
Want another question?
Yep, I'm downloading the Buccaneer software.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch to that.
Yes, no?
Yeah, go on.
So, Michelle asks, apparently, he's been meaning to ask for some time, has Angus ever tried smoothing PLA with ethyl acetate? It's supposed to be the safe option, but I'm having a hard time getting it to work.
Okay, so the question's about smoothing PLA with ethyl acetate. I can't comment on that particular chemical because I've never used it myself. But in my experience with smoothing PLA, other chemicals have always been quite dangerous. Ethyl acetate supposedly is safer. I don't know. I'd really check out the MSDS on that to make sure it is safe. I've sort of stopped vapor smoothing these days because it's just a huge pain to do, and there is inherent dangers with it. If you look at the polisher kit from Polymaker, which uses ethanol or isopropyl alcohol to smooth their special PVB plastic, that looks like a safer solution. Otherwise, I tend to just use like 2-part epoxies to seal and then paint parts. But yeah, I haven't tried the ethyl acetate myself.
Yeah, just make sure that the Buccaneer app is not a virus, considering how things are going.
It just downloaded, so we'll see if their app is a virus. It might well be a virus. Okay. Yeah, let's just stick it there, whatever. Yeah, let's go. Oh, needs .NET framework. I'm pretty sure I already have that. Yes, fine. Anything that needs .NET framework is just horrible.
A quick question. Trace asks, has Angus considered modifying one of his older or cheaper 3D printers into a basic CNC mill?
That's a good question. So the question's about modifying older printers into something, I guess, not so much better, but something different. A CNC mill would be pretty much impossible because the belt systems that 3D printers use can't carry the load that a tool would need for cutting into material. It can't do it. You'd lose steps, it would break. There's no way you can turn a cheap belt-driven printer into a CNC. The Trinets, on the other hand, yes, I reckon you could, because it's a lead screw design. But yeah, I've thought about turning previous printers into like a barbot or something like that. Like adapting it, because it's a good 3-axis CNC system. But in terms of cutting things, you will need a stronger axis. You will need something with a linear screw or something, not just a belt. So here's their horrible app. How do we find our printer? Locate the Buccaneers label at the rear of the printer, and then what the hell? Connect. When your Windows is connected to the Buccaneers Wi-Fi. But then I'll lose my stream. What? What? Okay, their app sucks. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to try my phone. Is there no way to just physically connect it? Is there actually no physical connection? You've got to be kidding. What if you don't have Wi-Fi? Which I don't. Wow. Right. So, by the looks of it, you can't actually use it without using the stupid app and connecting via Wi-Fi. Apparently, I'll try to find it on the old phone. Now's a good time for questions because now we're trying to get this stupid software to work. Oh God, why do I do this to myself? You asked for it. You guys wanted to see the Buccaneer being unboxed and tested. Well, here it is.
Because you love the abuse.
I do love the abuse. Let's see if I can find Buccaneer 3D printer. There we go. They do have an iOS app. That must have cost them a bit of money. Maybe that's why they went broke. Trying to get their iOS app verified.
Okay, here's a question from Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
He asks, is there a good clear filament out there? I'm currently trying out eSun natural filament, but it's too hazy. Is there an optimal setting I'm missing?
Just 1 second. So clear filaments on FDM 3D printers are a bit of a, how do I say it? Bit of a fallacy. When you actually go to print clear filaments, they don't print clear. They print, as you said, hazy or cloudy or reflective, because what happens is the layers create refractions. So you're not looking like imagine a clear plane of glass. That's transparent. It's flat, you can look through it. But imagine a frosted pane of glass. You can't look through it because of the refractions. So no matter how clear your filament is, the layers by definition will make it so you can't see through it. So there are ways around it. What you can do is use something like XTC 3D, which is very clear 2-part epoxy. And if you use that on a clear plastic, like a clear PET would be ideal, like T-glass from Toolman is a very good clear plastic. And my verification failed. Then you use a 2-part epoxy, you can get a very clear result. There are some new filaments on the market now that are pretty clear, but I haven't tried them personally, so I'm not sure. So yeah, that would be my answer for that one. And I'm just trying to get this damn password in.
Yeah, I think I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Jen Cab earlier
Okay,
gave this advice.
I think it's working.
He said Angus's mic gain is a little high and is clipping. He suggests dropping the gain by -3 decibels, assuming it's a cardioid mic. If it's a Rode, turn it sideways just a little. Should sound great.
This mic?
Yes.
So I'm using a lav. If you can see here, it's there. So this is a Rode lav mic. So on the Rode receiver, I can't really show you. It's not clipping. So you can see there, it's not clipping at all. But I've got my gain turned up really high on the UR22 receiver. Sorry, the external sound card. And I just got this set up, so I don't know how it works very well. If you can give me some advice on how that should work, that'd be great. But I can't see how to change my gain on the receiver at this stage. Yes, but I do appreciate the input. I would like to get it working properly. Okay, so this is their app. There you go. So let's see if I can connect to my printer. Okay. So it's on Wi-Fi. Buccaneer. There we go. And it apparently has a password on the back of it. It does. 3YAA dash. Oh, come on. 3YAA dash EZN2.
Okay, so Cass with Razor asks, what do you think of the newer Rosen 3D printers? Have you had to think about them yet?
The which?
The Rosen, ROSIN, so Rosen.
Yeah, you misspelled it. So, questions about resin 3D printers. So, resin-based systems are good for very high resolution prints. Sorry, I'm just trying to multitask. Yes, I'm connected. Ta-da! So, resin 3D printers are great for high resolution prints. If you want to print small, like World of Warcraft or what's it called? Warhammer figurines, like custom Warhammer figurines, you need to go with an SLA system, which is stereolithography. And that is a resin-based system which uses like a laser to cure that resin, that liquid resin, layer by layer. Or you should, yeah, CJ picked up on that. Yeah, good luck hacking into my Buccaneer there with my SSID. Yeah, or you can use a DLP, which is like a projector-based system. We do the projector that projects layers onto that layer, that light-sensitive resin to cure it. They're very messy. The resins are quite toxic, and they're quite expensive to keep going, I suppose. Like the beds are consumables. The resins are expensive. I would love to test it out. What is this? Yes, let's go with that. What? No. Sorry, dealing with troubleshooting. Yeah, I'd love to test out a resin printer, but they're quite expensive and they're very much in a world of their own. They're very different to...
I guess, did you just say, I'd say a password?
Yeah, I said the Wi-Fi password for the Buccaneer.
Oh, okay. Is that on purpose?
Yes.
Fine.
Yes, hack my Buccaneer, guys. Good luck with that.
I'm gonna hack it and print out a bomb while you're sleeping.
Okay, so apparently it's connected. How do I like... Oh, load filament. So... Right. Proceed. Apparently it's loading filament. Like that. Again, guys, I'm doing this because it was the highest ranked answer on Twitter when I posted what you wanted me to do for the stream. We've gone over time, but I don't care. That's just, I'm having fun. I didn't know what to expect from this machine. And if you're just joining me, the Buccaneer was a Kickstarter campaign 3D printer. Oh, there goes the Z-axis, which is not moving again. Oh, maybe it's the extruder. So this was a Kickstarter campaign that failed horribly, essentially. Yes.
Okay, so Manolo asks, what resolution is the most reliable for mass production with a 3D printer?
What resolution?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting question. So the question is about what resolution is best for mass production with a 3D printer. Well, to start, mass production is not a suitable use of a 3D printer at all, so don't do it. Injection molding is suitable for mass production, but mass production is in thousands of units. If you're looking to do just one-offs and like small amounts of things, I always seem to print at 250 micron layer heights. That's a good balance of speed to quality, but it depends on what your client wants. If your client is after really high detail, you won't be able to get away with 250 microns. You might want to have to go down to 150. But even then, some people don't realize that 3D printing is a layer by layer process. Oh, it's extruding, maybe. No, maybe not. God. Bear with me. It is totally not catching. Right, 54%. I don't know. These sounds confuse me. But yeah, I wouldn't use wouldn't use a 3D printer for mass production at all. It's not the best idea. I assume you guys like watching me fail. It seems to be a habit with these streams. Oh. Okay, proceed. I can't tell if it's working or not. I can't tell. The fan's turning on. It sounds like an extruder's turning, but I just. This just makes no sense. Just keep saying random percentages with like no information. Just
You're too harsh on yourself.
I blame Pirate3D. Anyway, what's the question?
So Ethan Hayward asks, when are you going to review the Duplicator 6?
When it's no longer being used as a table for Lady Muse. It's in the queue. I'm reviewing the Duplicator i3 Plus first. I did get a replacement one for the broken one. And then it's going to be the... No, sorry. We're reviewing the M150, then the i3 Plus, and then the Duplicator 6. And then the TiVo, I think. There's like 4 printers that need to be reviewed. And this isn't one of them. This is just a joke of a printer. Right. So I'm going to just do this because their spool holder at the top is stupid. And I'm just going to run this through the side like this.
Brandon asks, Angus, could you please drag it outside and stream walking it off the plane?
Throw it off a balcony. Just chuck it off a cliff. It's just paused on 64%. It's not even 69%. It's just failure all round. Cancel. 76%. 92%. Just random. Now it's like, please wait while we cancel the task. I do appreciate you guys joining me. Honestly, I do. Makes this more enjoyable than doing it by myself, that's for sure. Okay, that did that. Okay, let's retry. So, proceed. Right, well it's in the catchment area, I can feel that, so it should start pulling it through. But who bloody knows? Yeah, at least it does look like a cool machine. It's pretty, that's for sure. There you go. It is very pretty, but it's very much non-functional at this stage. It's got glowing lights. You should see filament coming out of the extruder. I don't see filament coming out of the extruder at all. Retry. I don't see anything coming out of the extruder. It's just making lots of noise at this stage. Did you get it to extrude, Dion? Or did it just never actually... Did he never get past that point? I mean, the filament doesn't even have signs of being chewed or anything by a gear. The only thing I can think of is not going all the way through, but it totally should be.
Okay, so Liam Sands asks, what is the most fun you've had with this 3D printer so far?
Fun? What's the most fun I've had with this 3D printer so far?
Yep.
I think that's an overstatement. What is fun? I'd like to see it do something useful other than just look pretty. No fun. No, I'm so tempted to just push it off this table at this stage. But the Z's, even if the Z seized, it shouldn't matter. I'm trying to extrude. I'm not doing anything for the Z.
That 3D print guy, question. Does Dion actually like you to send you this, or is this a joke on you?
Well, he didn't want it anymore. So that says something. So he said, it was my choice to do this live. So maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Is the extruder heated up?
Good question. So, I'm going to see if the extruder is actually warmed up. Let's give me some random PLA. That'll do. It's not even warm. I'm going to touch it.
So many puns and jokes going on stream today.
It's not even hot. It's not even heating up.
Ravi, solution to fix. Kerosene into printer until overflowed, then melt the filament with nitro.
So basically set it on fire is a when you cancel something, it even like takes a long time to cancel it. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Rub some bacon on it.
It's not even a heated bed. You can't even take advantage of bacon with it. Okay, let's just say I'm done. Let's try to print one of their useless things.
Luke Petit says it needs to home before it moves on to heating, so maybe that's why it's not heating up.
Okay. Right, you could be right. Okay, well, let's unplug it and flip it over. And get more WD-40. Maybe if I spray enough WD-40 on it, it might spontaneously catch fire. Okay. Right, and I'll try to give it a helping hand.
Want me to roll over?
No, that's all right. It is greasy now. It should.
It's greasy.
It's greasy. It's.
That bacon suggestion is not sounding too far-fetched now.
No. Did it move? I didn't even know. I couldn't tell if it moved.
Maybe you're supposed to print it upside down.
Just leave it upside down. I don't have a fire extinguisher nearby. No, I don't. Okay, that's... Oh, a printer appears offline again. Well, no... Oh my god. Switch printer? Okay, so every time you restart it, you have to go back through the app to reconnect it. Okay, that's connected again.
Richard asks, as a Twitter poll got us into this mess, how about another poll to decide what should happen to the printer?
It should be condemned. It should be like strapped to a machining center and like machined to pieces slowly and painfully.
Okay, Ethan Brown asks, why are you so focused on homing it when you can just hit the micro switch?
I can't access the switch. It's actually there is no switch. It's a contact, a metal contact. So I need to run 2 wires between the lead screw and the other contact. It like pushes 2 metal parts together. It's shocking. Okay.
Vincent, they went bankrupt once they spent everything on that.
Oh, it's moving! It's moving! Oh my god!
Is it actually working?
Well, the axis is moving. Oh, Jesus. Alright, now it needs filament, right? Now it needs to actually warm up. This is takes the cake for the most chaotic stream I've ever done. I mean, they're usually pretty random, but this was just... What?
Do you want some relaxing music?
Not if it violates copyright laws.
Define copyright laws.
What's the music? No, turn it off. Right. Yes. I mean, if you guys have better things to do on your weekend, by all means, do them. I'm just trying to make this stupid thing work. Right, it's warming up, apparently. I'll verify with this piece of scrap PLA. Oh wait, no, it won't. It's making noise. Is it? Okay, well, it's moving the Z-axis again.
CJ's like, Angus, please play the keyboard right now.
Nothing happened! What? Okay, proceed. Yeah, that Z-axis is so sticky. I think the current for it's just too low. It would be quicker to build a kit. I arguably, possibly so. At least you'd end up with something that might work better. Extrude. Why aren't you extruding? Please wait while the Buccaneer is preparing to load filament. I'm pretty shocked that there's over 200 people watching. I do appreciate you watching. I really do. I just, in terms of worst user experience so far for a 3D printer out of the box, kind of takes the cake. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful printer. It's probably one of the nicest looking machines I've ever used, but I need I need a hard USB interface to an app or a program to work with. Push the filament now. It's saying 64%. It's a nothing's happening. No, the nozzle's not even heating up.
A lot of people are asking if you want a hug.
It just keeps going in a loop. Well,
I need to stretch my legs.
Lady Muse has had enough. Had enough of the shenanigans. I'm kind of
Would you like a hug?
Yay! It just keeps saying random numbers. What is it even doing?
The killer bee says you might have to rewire this thing.
Yeah. Please wait while the Buccaneer is preparing to load filament. I'm definitely trying to get it to load filament, that's for sure. Will you guys be really upset if I give up? Or am I stuck here till I get it working? Maybe it's warming up now. Maybe. Finally. Something does smell warm. Maybe it's all the WD-40 I sprayed on it. Oh, I'll be posting this video. It sounds like an extruder's turning, but I can't get anything into it. Oh, wait. It's extruding something. It's finally extruding something. For some unknown reason. I had to push really hard. That'll do. Yeah, it extruded a line of filament. You won't be able to see it because it's up in the body of it.
I told him if I touch it, it might explode.
Touch it, it might explode.
Yeah. And the mental smurf, do you think we should buy it then?
I would love to see the reaction of Pirate3D after watching this video. They'd probably be like crying their eyes out.
Okay, question. Are you going to be happy or sad if this prints really well in the end?
So if this prints well, by the time I'm through with it, I will be over the moon. I will just be like, if I can get it printing, then awesome. But I honestly don't think it will be any good, to be honest. It just seems like this whole app interface is really laggy and really... I mean, look, it's just sitting on 87%. Doing what? It's just, please wait while the Buccaneer is loading filament. But it just loaded filament. What's it doing now? So, yeah.
Wiping their tears with the money they stole.
Wiping their tears with the money they stole. To be honest, I think they're probably bankrupt. I think they didn't steal money. I think they just ran out of money. Like, they didn't know how much it would cost.
That's most likely what happened.
I think Kickstarter projects are very dangerous in that people can come in with wild ideas that they don't know how much manufacturing costs. So they enter like really steep discounts on like pre-orders, but actually when it comes to manufacturing, oh, tooling actually costs a few $100,000. I didn't realize that. And they end up with no money. It's just taking ages to do nothing. It's okay, it's at 92% of something. Every time the Z-axis moves, I need to give it a helping hand. I think the current's very low on it. Look, it did a thing. Look, I can't really see it. It's too overexposed. It did a thing. It did like a line of a turd.
So Ethan Brown says, from what I saw, the printer's actual mechanics aren't that bad looking. Perhaps it's seized up, but if those linear slides are even half genuine, it should provide fairly smooth motion.
Yeah, you're right. So it does have linear slides, which is actually really good. But it's like someone half knew how to design a printer. So it's got the linear slides, but then the rest is like crappy plastic. It's a really weird... Yeah. Okay, so that's done. Finally. Okay, let's print something. So this is their app for various things. There you go. Oh, their app even sucks. It's even laggy. I don't know. Let's just print whatever's first. 9x9 dot matrix applicator. Should we try that? Oh, it is white now. Yes, it is. Well spotted. I can't get their app to work. Okay. Now let's print something. Whatever. Ask me some questions. I'm trying to get their app to work. It's just lagging.
A bust of Johnny Depp.
I don't think I can get that on this. I could try. I would like to print a bust of Johnny Depp. So in terms of printing your own stuff, I assume you can, but you'd have to somehow get it into the iOS app, so you'd have to use their system, which is, yeah. Yeah, imagine if this stream was sponsored by Pirate3D. Well, then you can guarantee they'd never sponsor anything ever again for me.
Angus, do you prefer this print or the Olo?
Oh, the Olo. Look, at least this is a physical real thing. I don't know, the Olo, till it physically ships, it doesn't exist in my eyes. So at least this is something, but it's just it kind of is just as bad. I mean, it's just a cheap printer. Just yeah, it's just a cheap printer to attract people. Olo got the most ever 3D printers funded, in a campaign. Pretty awful. And yeah, just to clarify things, Dion sent this to me just as a joke. Like, he said, "Hey Angus, I've got this Pirate3D printer. Do you want it, like, just to do something with?" He's not giving it to me for a review as such. He's not giving it to me to, like, see if it's any good. It's just, Pirate3D is what they are. They were a Kickstarter project that went horribly wrong. And this printer's kind of demonstrating that. So yeah, I am very much thankful for Dion for sending that to me, for sending it to me. It has been fun, but I would never buy it, and no one would recommend to buy it. I can't get their app to work. I'm gonna try loading up my Wi-Fi again, and then see if I can print something for you guys. So much tension. Let's see if I can get that to work. Maybe.
Okay, so just a quickie. Kevin Parang asks Makers Muse, how do you get access to the giveaway for the Duplicate 6? Do you know?
Yeah, he keeps asking about
Oh.
that. The giveaway hasn't started yet, so you'll see it on the channel, dude. You will see it on the channel when I do the video for it. Okay. Right. So you need Wi-Fi to get to the app, to get the files, but you need Wi-Fi connected to the printer to print. I'm sure there's a way around it. I think I missed it in their app. But let's see. Let's see how it goes. I'm just printing what I can out of their app. I can't take requests because I can't get it to work further than this at this stage.
Angus?
Yep.
Are we going to be finishing anytime soon?
I just want to get a print started, so probably soon, yes.
Okay.
This has gone over time. Okay. Loaded filament, yeah, that's fine. Print. Done. Current tasks. I do apologize if this is boring. I'm just trying to make this work.
Okay, Carter asks, what do you think of the D's Maker Bukito? Have you heard of that one yet?
Yeah, the Bukito is pretty good. It's a little cute machine, very much cantilever design. Cheap. Actually, not as cheap as it should be, but Bukito, D's Maker is a small 3D printing manufacturer. Yeah, it looks alright. I can't really comment further than that, though I haven't used it. I can't get this app to print. Print. I think I missed the page where it said I could have two. Yeah. I think I missed the page where it had two Wi-Fi signal options. Add new printer. Yes, I'm connected. Okay. Okay, now I can connect to the home network. Maybe. Alright, let's try that. So I'm going to connect it to the Wi-Fi dongle, which then should let me use their dumb app. In theory. And then I can be done with this thing. Why did I listen to that Twitter poll?
You set it up.
Like, why did I put it as an option?
Just a quickie and then I'll leave you to it. What is your opinion on the Dremel 3D printer they sell at Bunnings?
Okay, the Dremel 3D printer they sell at Bunnings is essentially a FlashForge Dreamer with a single extruder and a non-heated bed. It's pretty good. Yeah. Being sold from Bunnings, you will pay a premium for it. But if that's what you want to go for, fine. It prints quite well. So Joel, 3D Printing Nerd, has one, and he's quite happy with it. I think I've got this sorted. Okay, bear with me. Oh, you bastard. It's not doing anything. So yeah, the Dremel 3D print builder looks pretty good. It's a non-heated bed, PLA only. But if that's what you want, that's fine. If you want to go a step above, look at the FlashForge Dreamer. It's exactly the same machine, but with a heated bed and dual extruders. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to call it there, guys. I cannot get their app to work. It's connected to the printer, and then I've connected it to a Wi-Fi network, so I should be able to get signal, the data through it. But while it's connected to the printer, I can't get anything through. And while it's disconnected to the printer, I can, but I can't talk to the printer. So yeah, I will do a follow-up video. By all means, thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Pirate3D. So again, this is the Buccaneer from Pirate3D. It was a Kickstarter project in 2012, I believe, which left more than $500,000 worth of backers hanging because they went so off the rails, they could not fulfill their orders. So what they ended up doing was opening up a store so they could retail them, and then by trying to retail them, they were trying to get money back to fulfill the backers' orders. And that just didn't really work out. So this was a production sample sent to me from the 3D printer. Very much big thanks to Dion there for sending it through to me for just check out. Because most people are never going to see this printer. And I can see why. It's just been a terrible experience all around. So I'm going to see if I can get it printing. It's probably going to take a few hours. So I'm going to kill the stream here and I'm going to do a follow-up video. So yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you found it at least a little bit entertaining watching my suffering. And I have to say a huge thanks to all of my Patreons who support this. So I've used this data. This is 4G internet, which lets me stream. Otherwise, I can't stream from where I am. So I'm only able to do that with your support, guys, because 4G data is horrendously expensive. And I do really appreciate it. Cool. So have a great weekend, and I'm going to tinker with this a bit more and see if I can get it working and give you a follow-up. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very shortly here on Makers Muse. Catch you later, guys. Bye. And and stop.